Good evening, ladies, gents, and otherwise. My name is Sergeant Zigshadow. Yes, we are allowed to use call signs in this unit even on off-field duty. Feel free to use yours when you finally finish training and can register your own call signs. I'll be your lecturer for today's lesson. I'm sure many of you want to get straight into the nitty-gritty of things, so I'll cut right into the core of this lecture. I see some of you have fallen asleep already, so I won't bore you with small talk. No, cadet. Just let the bored man sleep. If he values his life enough, he'll ask questions later after the lecture. Should some of you be more than happy to relate all this information to the lad? Anyways, the Onion. In combat, it's inevitable that you will eventually meet the enemy. As I speak, the Tyrant continues to harass humanity in vast reaches of space, leaving destruction, innocent deaths, and dubious decor choices in his wake. This onion right here represents the most basic rules of thumb that you should pay attention to in order to not only survive, but also fight back and win against his demonic forces. If you're bleeding out on the floor with an imp closing in for a kill, you might have made several mistakes leading up to it. It's never just one or two. Don't be there. What do I mean by this? Isn't one of the main foundations of combat requires you to meet face to face with the enemy? Not so. Killing the enemy without even seeing the reds of their eyes can be one of the greatest tactics in surviving a particularly difficult battle, especially since you will likely be severely outnumbered compared to your foes. In Hideous Destructor, you will be issued many tools in your disposal to ambush your ambushers and come out on top. IEDs that can be placed next to obvious target spots, your own grenades that you can tripwire along corridors or doors, derp and herb turrets for both recon and defense, and your own firearms that can penetrate thin walls where the enemy could be hiding. Do not be afraid to use the environment to your advantage if need be. I assume you at the very least have already been taught how to climb and use ladders. If all else fails, know that evasion can be just as effective of a tactic. Oftentimes, your target in your mission will be either high-ranking officers of the Tyrant's armies or manifestations of the Tyrant himself. Remember the ultimate goal of your respective missions. You're not here to kill everything in sight. Don't feel as if you're indebted to be fair to these godless demons. If given the chance, they'll use the very same tactics right back at you and blast you before you can even see them. So use your tools, cadets. Next one. Don't be seen, or even heard if possible. If confrontation is the only way forward, you must kill them before they could even get the chance to see you. Flank their positions and blast their backs before they know what to shoot. Some of your weapons, like SMGs, have suppressors, which could help in dire situations if you fear that an entire enemy brigade may drop upon you with that first shot. Whenever possible, try to get the drop on your enemy. And then, don't be a quiet. The enemy has seen you, and is in the process of aiming their weapons at you. You must not let them finish that process. Without any hesitation, you must either kill them, or take cover at once to shake off their aim. This is particularly relevant for any demons using explosives or energy weapons, of which can decimate you if you so much as let them get a glimpse of where you are, and can very easily kill you even behind cover, thanks to their area of effect attacks. I hope I don't need to repeat myself in saying that the enemy has also learned of these tactics and will be using it against you in the field. Do not take them lightly. Don't be hit. If the enemy has aimed at you, it's imperative to do your best to minimize your chances of being hit. Take cover and get him to aim at the wall next to you instead of your face. Dodge and weave through the fireballs thrown before retaliating. And remember that you can always commando crawl your way to decent cover if available cover is barely enough. Now, some soldiers in the field have done the trick of dodging right as the enemy finishes aiming, barely managing to get out of the way just as they fire their shot. But don't count on such bold moves to always get you out of combat alive. It's embarrassing to see soldiers try to be cool only to have their bodies carried out the minute after. Okay, don't be penetrated. Yes, I can hear your giggling already. Feel free to stop at any time. It is still an important thing to remember when you've failed all the other layers so far and are now taking fire. There are many ways to mitigate being hit, from using armor, using better armor, shield cores, and even rat suits when dealing with fireballs. Being hit doesn't mean the end. You better damn make sure that it stays that way. And lastly, don't be killed. If the enemy has managed to get a lead or two in you, or a fireball's enough to burn straight to your flesh, don't wait for even a second. Check for bleeding and treat it immediately. Don't use bandages if you can help it. Use your staplers. Unlike the former, they can seal your wounds properly. Stim packs can help your body's endurance. Use Zerk packs if it's dire. Drink any potions or, those magic spears that you know can heal you. Anything to stop the wound and get you right back into fighting condition. If you're incapacitated, crawl your way out of the combat zone at once and find a safe spot to recuperate. Do not medicate right when the enemy is around the corner. This is your last layer of the onion. Fail this, and your death is assured. Alright, that about sums up all that I know regarding the survivability onion. With this knowledge, it is in my sincere hope that all of you will be able to survive your field deployment and come back alive. Oh, hey, you've woken up. Well, you've missed quite a bit, unfortunately. Well, that'll be all for now. Dismissed.